Delaware Valley's leading news program with Rick Williams, Sarah Blomquist, and meteorologist David Murphy.
Good Friday afternoon. Rick and Sarah are off. I'm Alicia Vitarelli. In the news, police are looking for a man seen peering through people's windows in South Jersey. Plus, authorities respond to a local apartment building after grenades are reportedly found inside. But the big story on Action News is a freezing blast of winter wind. The bitter wind chill makes it feel like it's only in the 20s outside today. And if you have Friday night plans, you'll want to bundle up. Meteorologist David Murphy is trying to stay warm to give us a first check on that AccuWeather forecast. We sent you outside just so you can give us a real feel, David.
You know what, Alicia? I picked it because I wanted to dress appropriately and sort of give everybody the visual cue. If you take a look at satellite, we do have some sunshine now giving way to a little bit more increasing cloud sweeping through. You can really see that happening over the last hour or so. There's still sunshine breaking through the cloud cover, but cloud's a little bit more prevalent. And of course, on a chilly day, you kind of like the sun on your shoulder. Notice also that there's a couple of snow showers up north of us, well north at this point, but up in the Poconos and maybe the Lehigh Valley, a chance of a flurry today and perhaps a quick hitting snow shower that could quickly whiten the ground. Temperatures are cool. We're at 42 degrees in Philadelphia, 38 degrees in Allentown, 40 in Trenton, 37 in Wilmington. But of course, that's not the entire story. We also have very strong wind gusts that are now picking up, a 36-mile-per-hour gust at the top of the hour in Philadelphia, 28 in Wilmington, 28 in Allentown. And these are probably going to grow a little bit. We could see some gusts as high as 40 before we're over this afternoon. And the wind chill, of course, is making it feel like it's cooler. A wind chill of 33 in Philadelphia, but 27 in Reading and Lancaster. And as the winds pick up, I think the wind chills in the 20s are probably going to be the order of most of the afternoon. Here's how it's going to go temperature-wise, about 41 degrees by 2 o'clock. It does look like we may get up to 43, could just sit on 42 for the next hour or so, and then slide back down into the mid-30s by 6 o'clock. And later tonight by 10 o'clock, the winds are dying down, but the temperature's also dropping to 32. Most of us are going to be in the 20s overnight with less wind. The weekend is looking pretty good. A little bit milder as we go from Saturday into Sunday, not as windy, and dry conditions as well. And when I step inside with the complete AccuWeather 7-day forecast, Alicia, we'll check out the very latest numbers from AccuWeather on your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Chilly for now, though.
All right. We're looking forward to that report, David. Thank you. Meanwhile, crews are getting ready to celebrate New Year's Eve on the Delaware River waterfront. You're looking live at Penn's Landing, where fireworks will light up the sky twice tomorrow night. The first show is at 6 p.m., followed by the big finale when the clock strikes midnight. And the party will continue on New Year's Day with the Mummers Parade. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is live at Philadelphia City Hall, where the parade will kick off on Sunday. Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Alicia, of course, as you said, the parade doesn't start until Sunday morning, but preparations are well underway up and down Broad Street. We're here by City Hall where the Mummers will step off. You can see these bleachers. They're empty now. They will be packed come Sunday morning. This weekend is full of fun and festivities, and folks across the area today are getting ready.
I need some turkey wings and some smoked meat so I can make me some black-eyed peas.
A new year is on the horizon, which means the party planning is in full swing at Reading Terminal Market. At Termini Brothers Bakery, the cannolis are the top seller, but cheesecakes are also big for New Year's. Today and tomorrow will be especially busy days on top of an especially busy week.
But I think because the holiday fell on the weekend this year and people took extended vacation.
Christmas Eve, the parties start early. You know, a lot of meal prep. Where the parties start at 9 o'clock at night so they can shop all day.
At Junta's Prime, pork is a popular choice for New Year's meals, a Pennsylvania Dutch tradition since the pig roots forward. Still, they do stock up on a variety of meats.
It's a little bit of everything, where like Thanksgiving is like turkeys, Christmas is a lot of rib roast and fillets, where New Year's kind of lamb, racks of lamb, just they want a good meal to bring in the new year.
You'll want a full belly since there's a full weekend itinerary. Crews are prepping the parade route for Sunday. The fencing is up along Broad Street. Once again this year, the Mummers will start at City Hall and strut down Broad to Washington Avenue. The bleachers mark the viewing areas along the way.
It's a tradition in our family. We would go down in the morning and hot chocolate, you know, watch the Mummers Parade, go home, and have a big New Year's dinner.
And of course, another popular stop this weekend is the Delaware River waterfront. You get great views on both sides of the river. Those fireworks displays, one at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, the other is at midnight. We are live at City Hall. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News. Alicia.
All right, Catherine, looking forward to all of it. Around 1 million people are expected to ring in 2017 in Times Square in New York City. For the first time, the celebration will be surrounded by 65 trash trucks filled with sand and 100 patrol cars. All of those vehicles are set up to prevent terrorists from driving into the crowd, which, as you know, is what happened in recent attacks in Germany and in France. 7,000 additional officers will be stationed across the city. And you can watch all of the action in Times Square right from your couch. Ryan Seacrest will be here on 6 ABC to ring in 2017. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest starts tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Now to developing news this afternoon. Russian President Vladimir Putin has condemned the sanctions laid on his country by the United States. President Barack Obama imposed those sanctions yesterday in retaliation for Russia's hacking into American political sites and emails, and also that country's interference in November's U.S. election. Now, dozens of Russian diplomats must leave the U.S. by the end of the weekend. Putin calls the sanctions a provocation and says that Moscow will not retaliate. Russia denies those hacking allegations. She was a beloved staple of her South Philadelphia community, and today hundreds of people are saying their final goodbyes to Marie Buck. The 81-year-old was shot and killed at her corner store on Christmas Eve, the unintended target. Action News reporter Annie McCormick is live near the church where a funeral mass is underway. Annie.
Alicia, that's right. That funeral began at 11 o'clock. It is still underway. The family has some relief today since the news came yesterday that police do have the person in custody that they believe is responsible for this cold-blooded murder. Family and friends arrived at St. Mary Magdalene de Pazzi Church in Bella Vista for their final goodbye to 81-year-old Marie Buck, the beloved grandmother killed in her corner store at 6th and Titan on Christmas Eve. Yesterday, homicide captain James Clark announced charges against 31-year-old Maurice Green. Police say he shot Buck 11 times. The motive, according to police, a dispute with Buck's grandson over an expensive gold chain. Buck's grandson allegedly stole it from Green, and the suspect apparently went to the store to confront him.
We think he went there with the intention of shooting and killing the grandson. He opened the door, he saw the grandmother, and at that point he made the choice that he was going to kill the grandmother since he was not there.
Buck was so popular throughout her South Philadelphia neighborhood, hundreds turned out to show their respects last night and at a second viewing this morning, and then to her funeral mass.
She's wonderful. I miss you, Marie.
Buck's longtime friends like Lorraine Flagel expressed their grief.
She just loved everybody.
So did customers she got to know over the years and complete strangers moved by the senseless killing.
I guess it makes you feel a little bit better if justice is served, but that doesn't bring her back.
I don't know how anybody could have done that. I don't even care if it was for the grandson.
A domestic dispute led to an early morning crash in the Feltonville section of Philadelphia. This happened before 1 o'clock at the intersection of D and Loudon Streets. Police say after crashing into a home, the driver got out and ran off. Now, a woman who was in the car tried to run after him, leaving a child in the back seat. Officers found the woman. The man is still on the run. No word on whether any charges will be filed. The search is on for a peeping Tom in South Jersey. Police are trying to identify this man seen on this surveillance video right here, peeping into the windows of a home in Glassboro on Wednesday. Investigators believe he did the very same thing at a different house on December 7th. Anyone with information about that suspect should contact Glassboro police. A tiny pest that can cause massive damage has made its way to the Port of Philadelphia. Mediterranean fruit flies, also known as medfly, have been found at the port in Camden. Federal officials say the bugs were found in a recent shipment of clementines from Morocco. Now, the medfly can destroy fruit by laying its eggs inside. An infestation several years ago caused billions of dollars worth of damage to crops in California. Well, still to come on Action News this noon, investigators are trying to find out how a woman fell off of a chairlift to her death on a family ski trip. Plus, a mom is reunited with her daughter after the little girl is briefly kidnapped outside a laundromat. And meteorologist David Mertz.
Action News is sponsored by the American Association for Cancer Research. Finding cures together. Support cancer research and donate today at aacrfoundation.org.
A man driving a U-Haul truck led police on an hour-long chase through Phoenix, Arizona. The driver allegedly robbed a convenience store and then fled in the truck yesterday. He managed to avoid hitting other cars in heavy rush hour traffic. But when he stopped at an intersection, he apparently tried to carjack another vehicle. And that's when police shot him. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The U.S. Coast Guard is searching Lake Erie for a missing plane with 6 people on board. 3 adults and 3 children were flying from Cleveland to Columbus, Ohio when the plane disappeared from radar over the water. Officials fear the plane crashed, but there's no sign of any debris so far. A 40-year-old mother is dead after a freak accident at a ski resort.
EMS Station 1, respond to Ski Granby Ranch for 3 patients that fell from the chairlift approximately 25 feet.
First responders rushed to Ski Granby Ranch in Colorado after the woman and her 2 daughters fell from a chairlift. The 2 girls, ages 9 and 12, are both going to be okay, but that accident left their mother dead. The family was visiting from Texas. Investigators are now trying to figure out how they fell 20 feet from that lift. Statistics show chairlifts are normally very safe. Over the past 40 years, just 12 people have died from a malfunction. A 6-year-old kidnapping victim has been reunited with her very relieved mom. The video tells it all, the 2 embracing in a big hug after police found the little girl safe in Los Angeles yesterday. Someone jumped into the mom's Lexus while it was parked outside a laundromat and took off with her daughter still inside the car. The suspect let the girl out, but he kept on going with that stolen vehicle. The suspect and the vehicle still missing. Well, ABC News has learned that the family of Hollywood legends Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher is planning a joint funeral service for the mother and daughter. Reynolds' son, Todd Fisher, says the family is still working on planning those services. Debbie Reynolds, best known for her role in Singing in the Rain, died from a stroke on Wednesday, just 1 day after the passing of her daughter, Carrie Fisher, best known as Princess Leia in the Star Wars saga. Now, Todd Fisher told ABC News that just 30 minutes before her fatal stroke, Reynolds said she wanted to join her daughter. He tweeted this image, calling their bond a love story. And tonight, a very special 2020 Debbie and Carrie Heartbreak in Hollywood. That's at 10 o'clock right here on 6ABC. And still ahead on Action News this noon, a famous deli is serving up its final sandwiches before it closes for good at midnight. And later, Amazon wants to take speedy deliveries one step further. We're learning more details about the retailer's plan for floating warehouses over the U.S. New York's famous Carnegie Deli will serve its final oversized pastrami sandwich today. Fans have been lining up all week for a last bite at the restaurant before it closes for good at midnight. The deli's owner says she's closing for personal reasons and she just wants more time to enjoy her life. The Carnegie Deli in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and several other locations are staying open. An iconic rap group is taking on several big retailers. Run DMC filed a $50 million lawsuit accusing Walmart, Amazon, and other stores of selling products using the group's trademarked name without permission. Examples include black frame glasses, often sported by Daryl McDaniels, otherwise known as DMC, one of the group's founders. The companies named in the lawsuit have not released any comment so far. Health check, this new measures to stop young people from smoking are about to take effect in Philadelphia. The new regulations prohibit new tobacco retailer permits within 500 feet of any K-12 school. The measures also target tobacco advertising and will bring tougher fines for stores caught selling cigarettes to children. These new regulations begin on January 1st. The Action News team is out working on news stories for tonight beginning at 4. A teenager was surprised with his ultimate dream. Find out what made him literally jump for joy on Christmas. Wait for the jump. Oh, there it is. And it took 5 years of searching to find his real mother. Hear from mom and son after their touching reunion that was decades in the making. Some feel-good stories for you there. And AccuWeather is coming up next at noon. Meteorologist David Murphy will have the 7-day forecast, including a look at this holiday weekend forecast. You'll want to hear it when Action News comes right back.
In the I-95 corridor, and then as you get farther south, a little bit milder with temperatures in the low 40s. Future Tracker 6 picking up a little bit more of that snow shower activity. A more hefty snow shower would be more likely up in the Poconos or perhaps in Allentown, but we are seeing some of this stuff break down to Philadelphia right now. Hopefully what we've got on the radar currently in South Jersey will be it for the afternoon, but that's something that could be part of your package today. Lehigh Valley forecast, sun mixing with some clouds, windy, a flurry or a snow shower not out of the question. 39 degrees the high and feeling like you're in the 20s up in the Lehigh Valley. 44 down the shore, windy and chilly. Wind chills down around the freezing mark or maybe the low 30s. And in Philadelphia, we're sitting on 42 degrees right now. We're probably just going to stay there for another hour or so before temperatures start to slide with that colder air coming in on that west-northwest wind. The winds will gust 30 to 40 miles per hour. So again, wind chills often today and into the early evening. We'll make it feel like it's in the 20s. Then overnight tonight, mainly clear. The winds die down a little bit. That might even happen as you go out for your dinner and a movie tonight. 28, though, is the overnight cold low. And then for the weekend, 43 degrees on Saturday and all the way up to 50 on Sunday. And, of course, in between those two items, we've got your fireworks happening as the new year gets rung in. 6 o'clock, the early fireworks, 39 degrees. And it looks like temperatures may actually rise a little bit as we head toward midnight. And we could be in the low 40s in Philadelphia and at Penn's Landing as the late fireworks are ensuing. 42 today, a passing snow shower, windy and chilly otherwise. 43 tomorrow, breezy but less windy overall, and probably in the low 40s in a lot of areas by midnight on Saturday night. And then New Year's Day looking good. 50 degrees is your high, partly sunny, nice, not all that windy for the Eagles game. Mummers probably kick off the parade in the morning with about 43 degrees on Broad Street and up to 50 by 3 o'clock and still the upper 40s by the end of the parade. And then conveniently, the next chance of rain isn't until after all of our festivities are over. 48 Monday, 60 Tuesday, both days featuring some more rain and drizzle, and then partly sunny and mild on Wednesday.
Yeah, I like that little 60 I see.
Yeah, how about?
Sneaking in there. All right, David, thank you. There's much more to come in the next half hour of Action News at noon. We just got an update from police on the death of pop singer George Michael, but his autopsy is presenting more questions than answers. Thieves hit a new low when they robbed 2 9-year-olds running a lemonade stand, but the kids are not letting this robbery keep them down. We have those stories and more next.
Action News at 12:30 continues with Rick Williams, Sarah Bloomquist, and meteorologist David Murphy.
Hello again. Rick and Sarah have the day off. I'm Alicia Vitarelli, and here are some of the stories we're following for you on Action News at 12:30. We're helping you get ready for New Year's Eve, a preview of the preps and celebrations going on tomorrow night. And Russia is taking action after the U.S. issued a string of sanctions against the country. The surprising reaction from Vladimir Putin. Plus, a quick-moving fire damaged a home in Bucks County. And now the details. The sun may be shining, but the wind is making it feel pretty chilly out there. Sky 6 HD taking a live look for you at the Rothman Rink right outside of City Hall. It's actually a good day to do some ice skating after that Zamboni gets done. Maybe some people will hit the ice. People are bundled up, and that's a good idea. Here's some other good news. A warm-up is on the way just in time for our holiday weekend. Meteorologist David Murphy is live outside with the AccuWeather forecast. Pretty chilly, huh?
It's not here yet, that one. Be there long enough just to put down a little bit of a coating on the ground, and you always want to be careful. Slow. Most of your temperatures, though, down south are well above freezing, and hopefully this is not really causing you any major problem. It's up in the Poconos and Allentown where we think we got a better chance of maybe a quick-hitting, slippery road condition producing snow shower. The wide view on satellite also shows you how the clouds have indeed gotten thicker, and we're going to look at clouds with some occasional sunny breaks the rest of the day. Temperatures in the northeast and along the mid-Atlantic region, all on the chilly side. 42 degrees in Philadelphia, same thing in Washington, just 39 degrees in New York City and Central Park. And the sustained winds are also picking up since this morning, as expected. 20-mile-per-hour wind in Philadelphia. But keep in mind the gusts that we've had within the last half hour or so, 36 miles per hour. So definitely a day for coats, extra gear, and hold on to that windshield or that steering wheel as you're driving along this afternoon, as you could get a sudden gust, especially on an overpass, maybe maybe gives you trouble. 41 degrees by 2 o'clock. We are expecting to fall from the current temperature of 42 pretty steadily through the afternoon. By 6 o'clock down to 37. As we get later into the evening, the winds die down, but the temperatures also drop, and you'll still want the winter coat later tonight. 29 degrees by 2 a.m. in case you are a night owl later on. Alicia, when we step inside, the winds die down tomorrow. Still kind of chilly for New Year's Eve, but temperatures rising toward midnight, so that's good. And New Year's Day does look well above average temperature-wise. I'll have details on all of that coming up in the exclusive AccuWeather 7-Day. Coats today, though.
All right, and we like improvements coming up, David. Thank you. So it is the eve of New Year's Eve, and folks are getting ready to ring in the new year, and police are also preparing for thousands of people to head to Center City for the fireworks tomorrow night, and then the Mummers Parade on New Year's Day. Action News reporter John Rollins just got an update from investigators. He's live at police headquarters with a look at some of the preps.
Hi, Alicia. Well, anytime people gather in large numbers in this day and age, it becomes a police matter. We know that. Security is paramount in these days. We have seen in the last 24 hours as to what New York has announced as to what it's going to do tomorrow night in Times Square. Now, traditionally, Philadelphia does not go into that kind of detail about its measures and its staffing, but today a spokesman did say that Philadelphia will follow best practices.
We're mindful of that, so it's all hands on deck. We're utilizing patrol, special operations bureau as well, so everyone will be working together. But again, the number one priority is keeping people safe.
In less than 48 hours from now, this area in front of City Hall will be awash with mummers and crowds of people. The night before, many thousands will gather on the river for fireworks. Between fireworks and mummers, tens of thousands of people will be gathering, celebrating in the city this weekend. Holiday crowds, by definition, are soft targets. In the last 6 months in Europe, terrorists in a pair of attacks killed 98 people using nothing more exotic than 18-wheeler trucks. In reaction, New York announced it will beef up security around Times Square tomorrow night. 7,000 officers, security checkpoints, and 65 large sanitation trucks loaded with sand placed at key locations to block potential truck attacks. Lieutenant Stanford says Philadelphia has used similar methods in the past.
We've used a number of those tactics throughout the past in a number of different events that we've had here. Just more recently, the DNC, as well as our celebration that we have during July 4th. So we'll have the same type of tactics in place with barricades that you'll see of various types and various nature. You'll see a wide contingent of officers.
As we say, in these times, whenever large numbers of people gather, even if it's for a holiday, police have to be concerned about security. Live at police headquarters, John Rollins, Channel 6 Action News. Alicia?
All right, John, thank you. And SEPTA is offering expanded service on its regional rail line for New Year's celebrations. Another option is PATCO. They're offering free rides so that you can make it a safe New Year's Eve celebration in Philadelphia. The free rides in and out of the city are being offered to help people stay away from making decisions like drinking and driving. The promotion begins tomorrow night at 8 and it runs through 4 o'clock Sunday morning. But if you want to watch the ball drop from the comfort of home, all you have to do is watch the action in Times Square right from your couch right here on 6ABC. Ryan Seacrest will host Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve that starts tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Well, in this half hour, we are following the latest developments surrounding Russia and the United States. For now, Russia says it will not retaliate against the U.S. for new sanctions related to a cyber attack on Democratic Party leaders. ABC's Kenneth Moten reports live from Washington, D.C. on this very latest development. Kenneth.
Well, Alicia, Russia says it still has the right to retaliate, but for now, nothing. The Kremlin announced it will send a plane to pick up its diplomats and their families who have until Sunday to leave the U.S.
The U.S. strikes back at Russia, the Obama administration holding its ground against Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Not much happens in Russia without Vladimir Putin.
And today, Putin appears to be choosing not to retaliate, waiting on the man whom he has a friendlier relationship with, Donald Trump. President Obama slapped sanctions against Moscow's top intelligence agencies, shut down 2 Russian compounds in Maryland and New York, and he's kicking out 35 Russian intelligence operatives from the U.S. This morning, Russia's foreign minister recommended a tit for tat, saying his country should force out 35 American diplomats. But Putin said no, calling the Obama administration move provocative, aimed at undermining relations with President Trump.
The irony here is that the reset button that President Obama was looking for at the beginning of his administration is really going to be President Trump's here in the next few months.
Trump still hasn't accepted the findings of the U.S. intelligence community that Russia was trying to interfere in the 2016 election. He said it's time for our country to move on to bigger and better things.
I find it fascinating that Donald Trump said it's time to move on from a cyber war, an active cyber war with Russia, but he actually can't move on from a bad restaurant review or not winning an Emmy Award for Apprentice.
But Trump says he'll still meet with intelligence leaders next week. And while he could reverse the sanctions against Russia, that could hurt him politically. Both parties and members of both parties in Congress still want to see tougher measures taken against Russia. Alicia, reporting live here in Washington, Kenneth Moten, Channel 6 Action News.
All right, Kenneth, thank you. A South Philadelphia business owner is being laid to rest today, one day after police captured her killer. Family and friends gathered at St. Mary Magdalene de Pazzi Church in South Philadelphia this morning to say their final goodbyes. 81-year-old Marie Buck was killed in her grocery store on Christmas Eve. Hundreds turned out last night and again this morning to pay their respects to this beloved shopkeeper.
She's wonderful. I miss you, Marie.
I guess it makes you feel a little bit better if justice is served, but that doesn't bring her back.
31-year-old Maurice Green was charged in Buck's murder. Police say he went to the store to confront her grandson over stolen jewelry, but he wasn't there. Firefighters are investigating a fire that damaged a home in Bucks County. Fast-moving flames ripped through the home on the unit block of Red Cedar Lane in Levittown just after 7 this morning. This viewer video shows smoke pouring from the home as crews worked to get that fire under control. There are no reports of injuries, and at this hour, no word on a cause. Well, Pennsylvania once again leads the country in reported cases of Lyme disease. That's according to tracking done by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The state had more than 12,000 cases of the tick-borne disease this year. That is 3 times more than New York, which had the second highest total of cases. Symptoms of Lyme disease include fever, chills, and joint aches. If left untreated, the disease can lead to arthritis and other problems. There's so much more to come on Action News for you at 12:30. A police officer in Texas caught a teen smoking pot, but what he did next is getting national attention on social media. See why. Plus, Amazon may be taking drone delivery to a whole new level. Details about their latest plan for a flying warehouse coming up. At the children. One of the kids threw water at the teen, so the teens pushed one of the 9-year-olds to the ground, then took an iPod and the $13 the kids had made that day.
It's innocent. They're just sitting there with a box, magic markers, construction paper.
Well, police caught the suspect shortly after an adult called 911. They were charged with robbery, battery, and petty theft. The base jumper who survived this horrifying fall is speaking out about his experience. 39-year-old Landon Dernberger leapt 300 feet off of a Phoenix mountain on Tuesday. His parachute opened but blew him toward the cliff instead of away from it. Luckily, an off-duty firefighter was hiking nearby and rushed in to help. Dernberger fractured his ankle and shattered both heels, but he says he still plans to jump again.
I'd rather be jumping than sitting in the hospital, but when I'm better, I'll go out and go again.
That's dedication. That could take a while. Dernberger's prognosis is good, but he still needs more surgery. It may seem like science fiction for now, but Amazon is working on some high-flying plans. The company is making moves to create floating warehouses to help them make deliveries in the future. ABC's TJ Holmes has more on the new idea.
We've heard all about drones dropping packages, pizza, and presents at your doorstep. Now Amazon has plans to take it a step further. The online behemoth hoping to move your local big box store out of the strip mall and into the sky, complete with an army of drones to deliver directly to your door within minutes. Sound a little like Close Encounters of the Drone kind, or something dreamed up by the Jetsons. These airborne fulfillment centers, as they're called, would fly 45,000 feet in the air, storing all your favorite Amazon goodies inside. Once the order is placed on Amazon.com, the drones would be released, delivering your DVDs, books, yoga pants, whatever, directly to your door. But tech experts say that despite Amazon's grand plans, shoppers shouldn't be looking to the skies just yet.
It's not uncommon at all for companies to file and receive approval for dozens and dozens of patents that they may have no intention of putting the resources behind to bring them to fruition. If there's one company that can make it happen, it might very well be Amazon.
TJ Holmes, ABC News.
A Texas police officer is getting praised on the internet for what he did after finding a teenager smoking pot. Officer Eric Ball was off duty outside a movie theater when he was alerted to the fact that a teen was smoking marijuana right near the entrance.
He said he had been smoking marijuana, but it wasn't a usable amount. I wanted to kind of teach him a lesson, to use that situation as a learning tool, and he was real respectful. So I told him he had two options. He can go to jail, he can give me 200 push-ups.
Well, as you can see, he chose the push-up option. He even told the officer he learned his lesson. Now, the teen's mother said the officer let him off easy. She would have made him do 1,000 push-ups. Good thing Mom wasn't on patrol that night. Good officer there. Still ahead on Action News, another check of your AccuWeather forecast, taking a live look outside for you at the Ben Franklin Bridge. It's clear, but it is chilly. Meteorologist David Murphy with an update from AccuWeather, including a look at the upcoming holiday weekend forecast when Action News comes right back.